You've heard the term everywhere, right? Social media detox. It's pitched as this magic cure for digital burnout, for anxiety, for pretty much everything. But is it the real deal, or is it just another wellness trend that sounds good but doesn't deliver? Well, today, we're going to look past the hype and see what the actual science has to say about unplugging. And that really brings us to the core question of this whole explainer. Is a social media detox a genuine lifesaver for our mental health? Or is it just an impossibly difficult, maybe even pointless task in our super-connected world? Let's find out. So, to really answer that, we can't just go with our gut feelings. We need to look at the cold, hard evidence. So let's dive in and see what the actual research shows. And let me give you a little spoiler here. The evidence isn't vague or ambiguous. When you actually dig into the major studies, the findings are surprisingly, and I mean powerfully clear. Let's start with the big one. Stanford University ran this absolutely massive study. We're talking 35,000 people. Now, this isn't some small online poll. This is a huge, randomized controlled trial, basically the gold standard in research. And it was designed to measure the real-world impact of taking a break from platforms like Facebook and Instagram. And the results? They're pretty fascinating. Just look at this chart. It shows what happened to people's well-being after a 5-week break. That first bar? That shows a huge decrease in reported anxiety and depression. And then look at the second bar, a big jump in overall happiness. So less time scrolling literally meant a better state of mind. And, it's not just that one study. Research from the publisher MDPI found people felt better after just 1 week. The UK's Royal Society for Public Health linked heavy social media use to lower self-esteem. And even the Cleveland Clinic points out that taking a break can seriously boost your productivity and your real-life relationships. The science is pretty much in agreement here. Unplugging has real, measurable benefits. Okay, so if the science is so clear, why is it so darn hard to do? Well, it turns out most of us are approaching it completely wrong. See, it's not about quitting. It's about being strategic. So here's the myth that trips almost everyone up. The idea that you have to go cold turkey, delete everything, and just disappear forever. But the reality is that all-or-nothing approach usually just sets you up for failure. The smarter way, the way that actually works, is to start with small, intentional steps to just reset your digital balance. A great strategy for this is something called digital fasting. And no, this isn't about some month-long silent retreat. It's just the simple practice of setting aside short, totally manageable, screen-free blocks of time, like maybe 30 or 40 minutes a day, to give your brain a break. It sounds simple, but it is incredibly effective at cutting down that digital overload. So what does a smarter start actually look like? Here are 3 things you could literally do today. First, turn off all those non-essential notifications. You know the ones, those little red dots are designed to hijack your brain. Second, move your most addictive apps off your home screen. Just that little bit of extra effort to open them can make a huge difference. And third, schedule a daily walk where you intentionally, purposefully leave your phone at home. All right, the data is one thing. The research is great. But what happens when a real person actually tries this stuff? Let's take a look at someone who put all this science to the test and see what happened. Meet Rajesh. Before his detox, this is how he described his life. His mind felt foggy, his sleep was terrible, and he had this persistent low mood. He knew he was addicted to the endless scroll, and it was taking a serious toll on him. So he tried a 1-week experiment. Day 1, he just deleted the apps. Now, by day 3, that classic fear of missing out, FOMO, it hit him hard. He felt anxious, he felt disconnected, but he pushed through it. And then, by day 7, something clicked. He said he woke up with genuine mental clarity for the first time in years. And Rajesh's story isn't some rare exception. It's the perfect real-life example of the benefits we saw in all that research. So let's just quickly recap the key takeaways here and think about what your first steps could be toward a healthier digital life. First and foremost, you get your focus back. Without the constant pings and interruptions, your brain can finally settle down and do deep work, or just be fully present in the moment. It's a game changer. Second, your sleep improves dramatically. We all know that blue light from screens messes with melatonin, the hormone that tells our body it's time to sleep. Just putting the phone away an hour before bed might be one of the best things you can do for your health. And finally, and honestly, this might be the most important one of all, it helps you strengthen your real-world connections. When you're not constantly distracted by your phone, you can actually be present with your family and friends. And that leads to way deeper, more meaningful relationships.
So, we'll leave you with this question to chew on. If you were to try a simple, one-week digital fast, what would be the single biggest thing you'd be hoping for? Would it be more focus, a better, more stable mood, or just a solid night of deep, restorative sleep? The science suggests all three are totally within your reach.